So of course, for the Pistons, another week has gone by, another week of them at the top, and we even have a little bit of trade deadline stuff where the Pistons stay quiet. Then again, with where the Pistons were, they didn't really need too much to compete at the top of the Eastern Conference. And the Red Wings, well, they go in with a split bag heading into the Olympic break. So let's see how Detroit sports fared this week. Starting off with the Red Wings this week, and their week started off pretty strong with the game in Colorado, as the Wings got the revenge for what happened Saturday in the second game at a home and home, where they completely shut down Colorado defensively, got a goal the first minute or so in the game, and then held on for the rest until Lucas Raymond called game with the empty netter late. And honestly, they just shut Colorado down defensively. It's crazy. You stop McKinnon, you stop their entire offense. Especially Sider laying out McKinnon twice in the closing minutes to keep Colorado from within the scoring range. And John Gibson, once again, being a great goalie on the road. Just a lot of great things to see. Waynes get the shutout. It's also crazy what happens when you don't circle jerk each other over your glory days. Waynes fans should take note of that more often. And everybody else should take note more often what happens when you don't circle jerk yourselves over glory days. Like I've said before, usually when you circle jerk yourselves over your glory days, it usually tends to not end well. Sadly though, for the Waynes, they would end up going in on a little bit of a limp for the Olympic break, as they would end up falling to Utah. Nothing went right against Utah. I don't know what it is with Utah, but it don't matter if that franchise is in Utah or Arizona. The Waynes have always struggled against that franchise. They just can't get anything right against them. As the Waynes have now lost to Utah, Arizona, and 10 of the last 12. For whatever reason, Utah just has Detroit's number. There are just some teams you match up well against and some you don't. And whether that franchise was the Arizona Coyotes or the Utah Mammoth, it don't matter. The Waynes struggle against them regardless, with Larkin getting the lone goal. And now the Waynes will head into the Olympic break third in the Atlantic Division, 4 points behind Tampa Bay, and they're currently about 7 points to the good on a playoff spot. But as we've seen before late in the season, we've seen the Waynes the last couple of years have a late season collapse or go on a losing streak after a break. And we got the deadline about a couple weeks after we get back from the Olympic break, as the Waynes' first game after the Olympics will be against Ottawa. So yeah, with this Olympic break, of course, with Larkin going to Team USA and Raymond representing Sweden and Moritz Seider representing Germany at the Olympics, the rest of the squad's going to look to get strong and try and come back on a strong note. Could the Waynes finally get it done this time? Or are we going to see another late season collapse? For the love of God, I don't think the 3-1-3 can handle another late season collapse again, especially with how good the Waynes have been this year and effectively right now having a 90% chance of making the playoffs. For the love of God, Detroit, I swear, if you fuck this up. Detroit basketball! So, of course, now to the Pistons this week. And for the Pistons, well, the week started off with a strong notice. They got a big win against Denver to sweep the season series against the Nuggets. Although a lot of people are going to put an asterisk on it saying, oh, well, you only beat them because you're going to have to play Nikola Jokic. All I say is, Bro, what the fuck are the Pistons supposed to do? Just forfeit both games to the Nuggets without Jokic? No, that's not how this fucking works. Alright, at the end of the day, the Pistons can't control what happens to the Nuggets and the Joker. Like, at the end of the day, you play whoever's on your schedule when you're supposed to play them. Next man up. If the Nuggets are the great team a lot of Nuggets fans say they are, then it shouldn't matter if they have Jokic or not. They should be able to win games without him. No excuses. And the Pistons got it done on the road. They got it done against the Nuggets, beating them. Although the Pistons kind of took a step back this week as they suffered a shocking loss to the Washington Wizards. Damn, we really lost to the Wizards. I believe this was right before the Wizards acquired the unibrow Anthony Davis. As now Anthony is a Wizard now, Harry. But the Pistons still fell to the Wizards. That's going to happen. You're going to have games like that where you may just have bad nights like that. It happens. But, of course, the Pistons didn't stay that long, as the day right after the Wizards game, they had another game against the Knicks. And the Pistons decided that what happened last time with the Knicks was going to carry over and belt the ass too. As for New York, it's belt the ass too, return of the sore ass. As Danish Jenkins had 18 points off the bench and the Pistons completely dominated the Knicks once again, beating the Knicks by 38 points. And yeah, the second time this year the Pistons have beat the Knicks by at least 30 points, and now the Pistons have claimed the season series over the Knicks, claiming the 2 meetings, which is a head-to-head if it comes down to it for a tiebreaker. In that race for the 1 seed, and the Pistons also gained valuable ground, especially since Boston's not too far behind on the tail. But yeah, the Pistons get some solid ground, especially with the deadline this week. But I mean, the Pistons, though, they don't really need too much to compete in the Eastern Conference, even though they've been linked to Michael Porter Jr. and Miles Bridges throughout it. But, it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I mean, even the Pistons are going to stand pat. What else are they going to do? They're going to trade Jaden Ivey to a division rival? Yeah, right. That'll be the day. You traded Jaden Ivey to the Chicago Bulls for a pretty measly return. Dear God. And they traded him to the Bulls at a 3-team trade that also involved the Timberwolves, where we end up swapping first-round picks with Minnesota. For God's sakes. You're supposed to give Cade Cunningham a solid wingman, not some more fucking expendables. Good God. And also the Bulls get Mike Conley in that whole deal, too. Of course, part of this trade was also Minnesota trying to clear up cap space, since Minnesota has been linked to getting Giannis Antetokounmpo at the deadline. And does Minnesota get Giannis? Nope, Giannis wanted nothing to do with Minnesota. Well, in that case, maybe Giannis will end up going to the Raptors and completing the Ace Taker's prophecy. Nope, the Raptors weren't interested in Giannis, and they settle on CP3. So, where does Giannis end up going? He didn't get traded at the deadline. He's still a Milwaukee Buck. And now Giannis is going on social media pretending to be loyal to Milwaukee, pretending like nothing happened, even though he literally spent the last month or two demanding out of Milwaukee and wanting to go win a championship, knowing the Bucks are wanting to rebuild, and now he wants to pretend nothing ever happened. Yeah, Giannis, let's see if your Greek flip-flopping will stay the same by the offseason in April. But yeah, anyway, well, with that drama out of the way, on to now bigger and better things for the Pistons. And also for any Pistons fans that are upset about Jaden getting traded, listen, it was set in stone the entire time. The Pistons were not going to bring Jaden Ivey back in the offseason. He was gone at the end of the year. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's best to get something for him back in return instead of having him walk for fucking nothing in the offseason. Like, honestly, what we got, it's pretty measly, but hey, it's something. It's better than nothing. And also, for any Piston fans that want the Pistons to lose in the finals now after trading Ivey, it's like, seriously? Rooting for the Pistons to make the finals and lose to Oklahoma City? Some of you Detroit fans are fucking pathetic, and it's fucking sad. I miss when Detroit had a real fucking fan base and not a bunch of flip-flopping soft bitches in this community. And in terms of which YouTubers want Ivy to get traded, want the Pistons to lose at the trade Ivy, I'm not going to name drop any of them. They know who they are. They can speak for themselves if you want to know. They know who they are. They can speak for themselves. But yeah. And also, let me just say this in terms of everyone butthurt about Ivy getting traded. Listen, he's a talented player, but here's the issue. He's had issues staying healthy his entire career in the NBA. I wanted Ivy to work out. It just didn't work. He just could not stay healthy. And as we've seen in all forms of sports, it does not matter how talented you are. If you cannot stay healthy in any of the Big Four sports leagues, you will not last long in said sports league, in said leagues. You know, it doesn't matter how talented you are in the NBA. You can't stay healthy, you won't last very long. And you know, we have players on the squad like Isar Thompson and Ron Holland that could do the job just as good, if not better, than Ivy. So with Ivy's injury-prone history, he's honestly become a fate worse than death. Expendable. And believe me, I want Ivy to work. It was pretty clear Ivy wanted to be in Detroit, but in the end, it just didn't work out. You know, that's life. You know, sometimes life doesn't always go according to plan. And some of these Detroit fans need to fucking accept that. I mean, for anybody that wants to still cry about Jane Ivey and want the Pistons to lose, all I say is, good God, if you want to suck Jane Ivey's dick so much, take the fucking Pistons gear off and go be a bandwagon Chicago Bulls fan and go be Judah Tribe and Dashy's problem. Don't be my problem. But anyway, another week, another solid week for Pistons basketball. Of course, the Pistons got 2 games left until the All-Star break. And also, I didn't know they changed the All-Star game to Team USA versus Team World. At least that's something different now. And instead of typical same old bullshit they've done the last couple years. I mean, Team USA versus Team World is something different. Honestly, I think that's just the NBA trying their best to copy that Four Nations face-off thing the NHL did. And kind of botching it completely. I mean, if they did something similar to Four Nations face-off, like if you have Canada and then some 2 other European countries in there, it probably could have worked, or even have Mexico in there. You know, you could have even done a Six Nations face-off if you wanted to, with how many good basketball countries there are. But bottom line, if you're going to do that, though, a best on best, it should have at least USA and Canada as a starting point. Like, can't USA Canada alone will get TV ratings. Because it's Canada, USA. Unless it's hockey. If it's hockey, it'll definitely get ratings for sure. But yeah, you know, that's just how much I care about how little I care about the NBA All-Star Game. Like, honestly, NBA be better off just getting rid of it. I mean, look at the NHL. They made the right choice getting rid of it for the Four Nations face-off. Well, of course, it's not this year because of the Olympics. But yeah, and the NHL's been better from it. NBA, NFL, and MLB should take notes from the NHL. Anyway, that wraps up here. See you all later. I'm out. And of course, go Wings and Detroit basketball. And fuck all you Detroit fans that want the Pistons to lose in the finals because you're butthurt about Jane Ivey. Just go be a fucking Bulls fan if you're that fucking butthurt about Ivy.